Let us discuss today's newspaper, that is 26th December 2015. This is a quite important article with regard to the West Asia politics are concerned. Here, if you carefully compare, the sectarian violence is too strong in West Asia. The Shias, they are supported by the Iran, and Sunnis are represented by the Saudi Arabia. And there is virtually a cold war between Iran on one side and Saudi Arabia on the other side. In this case, the United States of America generally acted as the stabilizing force in this area, supporting the royals. Now, after the intervention in Iraq, followed by Arab Spring, the fault lines are appearing in the West Asia. In this case, the traditional alliances, they are about to break down, or else they are going to be replaced with new shifts. So it is going to redefine the entire West Asian politics. Now let us come to the role of United States of America. United States already used to support these royal princes, and stability is ensured through these princes. So in this context, any human rights violation, etc., it was always blind to that. The major reason is United States of America is dependent on the oil extracted from these Middle East. Now, once the shell is discovered, the United States dependence on the Middle East has tremendously decreased. Though US is going to continuously present in this area because it has to protect the Israel's interests over there, and also it has got its military bases also over there. In spite of this, it is not very much attracted towards the politics of the Middle East anymore. And added to that, the growing influence of China in Asia and Obama's pivot to Asia, these two policies, they are making the United States to shift its focus to Asia, close to the borders of China. So Southeast Asia, South Asia, these have become the new focal points for the United States of America's action. Now, what are the major grievances of the Saudi Arabia, the traditional ally of United States of America in this context? You can see in 2005, the important landmark event is about Iran nuclear agreement. This Iran nuclear agreement has generally increased the stance of the Iran, and it's going to strengthen the Iranian economy. And Mr. Hosni Mubarak, he was considered as a strong ally or friend of Saudi Arabia, United States of America. Arab Spring has replaced the Hosni Mubarak from the Egypt. Saudi Arabia is not very satisfied with this turn of events, and it believes that United States did not intervene in support of the Hosni Mubarak in his need. And final straw comes with the Syria war. The Saudi Arabia want United States of America to take forward the Syria war directly involving or militarily attacking the Syria and overthrowing the Assad regime, as like it did for Saddam. But Obama is not George Bush, and already America has learnt the Iraqi war has led to a chain of events. And if you know, America started the Iraq war, but where the end is, it is not yet clear even today. So in this context, America is no more interested in intervening in the Middle East militarily, and it is only providing for the air support. The author calls it as offshore balancing. So this has highly disappointed the Saudi Arabia. And the next is the Kurdish problem and the relations with the Turkey. Turkey was a member of NATO and the ally of United States of America. Here Kurds are distributed in three countries. One is Iraq, Syria, and then Turkey. In Turkey, they are seen as extremist elements. The Quds Workers' Party in the Turkey, it is seen as an extreme element, both by the Turkey and United States of America. Similarly, on the other hand, Syrian Quds, these are a strong fighting force against the growing Islamic State. The United States of America provided the air support for the fight by the Syrian Kurds, and Iraqi Kurds were always the friends of United States of America. Now Turkey fears that if Kurd nationalism develops, it is going to damage its interest in the long run. And in this context, Russia has lost its presence and geopolitical significance in the West Asia because of Syrian collapse, and also after Anwar Sadat, Egypt was no more, or Egypt shifted towards the United States of America. Now Russia sees it as an opportunity to establish itself on the twin pillars of Iran and Syria. So when restrictions were on, economic restrictions were on Iran, Russia was the only country which has come forward to help Iran. So here also in Syria, Russia wants to support the Assad regime and protect the Syrian state structure. So this is where the situation which we have. So in this context, when Russia is supporting the Assad regime, and Russian fighter plane was shot down by the Turkey, leading to a diplomatic outburst. So a range of events that have occurred in West Asia, which can define the future of West Asia. So in this context, the United Nations Security Council 2254, how it will take forward the Syrian question is one important issue to be observed into the future. So it has provided for the all political dynamics and power politics in the West Asia. So read this article once. And next is, you know that India, United States of America have this DTTI, that is Defense Technology and Trade Initiative. So President Obama and Prime Minister Modi, they wanted to strongly take this forward. But however, taking this forward, there are few agreements which are necessary. One is end user management agreement or end user agreement. Now already India signed this. There are other agreements, that is logistics support agreement, SISMOA, and then BECA. So logistics supports agreement, what it says is, so Indian bases will be accessible to the United States of America, and United States of America's bases will be accessible to India for logistical maintenance purposes. So as US focus is shifting towards India, it means there's a greater chances in US will be using the Indian bases rather than India using the US bases, because India has no business in American continent. And the next is, under this, India also need to disclose its remotest or secretive bases towards the America, which the Indian army is not at all interested in. And whatever the military exercises still now conducted between India and the United States of America, they are just conducted in the regular military bases, but not in the secretive military bases India has in Jammu and Kashmir and the Northeast. Now SISMOA, it means Communication Interoperability and Security Memorandum of Agreement. Now for example, any military equipment, if it is transferred to India, it consists of certain sensitive technologies, and United States wants to protect these sensitive technologies, and it can give only that sensitive technologies if India signs this SISMOA. It means US will come and install those products over here. So India is not ready to give access to its communication systems to United States of America, where it can know how our army, air force, etc. they communicate with each other. And the second thing is, India also has many other platforms on the weapons which it imported from different countries. So it may lead to finally giving access to our codes to United States, and how it will reflect on our security is one concern to the Air Force. And basic exchange and cooperation agreement, it involves the exchange of geo-navigational information. It means that what is the terrain information and all the sensitive data towards the United States of America. And tomorrow, if US exchanges this information with some other country, so that country can easily launch a cruise missile on a strategic asset of India. So in this case, the logistics supports agreement, if war comes, for example, the United States wants to go on a war with a country where India is friendly with them. So in those circumstances, if India allows for the use of its bases, so that's going to become a big diplomatic mistake. So these are the issues that are pending before India and United States of America. Now, the textile industry and the new the environmental guidelines issued in this context. Under this zero emission or discharge norms, the environmental ministry wants every textile park or industry having a discharge greater than 25,000 of liters of water every day to fix with high-end no discharge technology. It is increasing the capital cost of the textile industry and is going to make our textile industry more uncompetitive. Already this textile industry has lost significant export share to the Vietnam and Bangladesh, and it is going to further worsen. And even in the United States of America, these zero discharge formulas do not exist, but India and Environmental Ministry under Environmental Protection Act 1986 it is pushing for this. And the second issue is related to the coordination. The state pollution control boards already issued the discharge norms. Because of this, they have to change the technology previously, and again changing the technology will prove costly for these small scale industries. And here you need to remember that after agriculture, textiles is the major employer in India, and it accounts for more than 14% of the exports in India. And this is the really bad day for the public administration students. So I generally take, when I talk about democracy, about Rudolph and Rodolph. They are nothing but Susan and Lloyd Rudolph. And among these, both of them are intellectual pair, or as wife and husband who did an extensive research in India about the modern day politics. After Gandhi and politics, and then with regard to post-colonial independent India and the evolution of the modern political systems in India, these people did a tremendous work. With regard to traditionalism and modernism, how they collude in India with regard to Indian politics are concerned, they are discussed by Susan and Lloyd Rudolph. So, the politics of Charishma and Darshan is one of my favorable thing from their quotes. So, in India, we have the politics of Charishma and Darshan rather than the democratic politics, how the traditionality has mixed with the modern politics. So Charishma means the high command centralized political systems driven by a charismatic leader. They want are the politics of India. That's what they wanted to drive over there. So among these two, the Susan Rudolph has passed away. Somehow 2015 is not a very good year for public administration as a field in India because Rajni Kothari and then Susan Rudolph, the two famous faces of public administration who have a tremendous influence on the politics in India, or political science as a subject in India, they passed away. Next is, now with regard to the atrocities committed by the Saudi Arabians on the Indian expats or else Indian workforce went over there, it is creating the ripples with regard to our diplomatic effort. Now if you can see, India has the largest remittances in the world, and most of these remittances, as expected, they do not come from the United States or Europe, but they come from the Gulf region. It is because of this workforce who are working over there. So if you take Qatar or if you take the Saudi Arabia, everywhere there is a huge exploitation of these human forces where they are underpaid and made to work for under the extraneous circumstances and for the long hours. And as the World Cup is about to come up, the Indian workforce working in the Qatar, they are forced to very harsh conditions. In this context, India has to take a diplomatic push towards improving the conditions of these people. Now, it is always continuous on media, that is the social media. It is creating the moral panics and pressurizing the working of the political leaders. That is what is according to the Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. Yes, the social media is creating such a pressure on everyone, and everyone has no time. They have to just react. So this is about today's newspaper. Thank you very much and all the best. Hope you enjoyed your Christmas, and thank you very much. I was just reading about this LSAS SMOVA and BECA, so it took some time for me to upload. And please write the answers regularly. Today I am going to correct the answers, and I am going to upload all the backlogs of November also this today. On this Saturday, because I have got a day off from Wajiram. And thank you very much. And we made a substantial progress on our website. So slowly we are going to bring you a new website where video, notes, question answer writing, everything will be on one single location. It improves our performance too, and it also eases my work to a much large extent, because students, someone post on the IAS page, someone post it on the Facebook page, and someone send the email, and it's becoming really cumbersome for me to coordinate all these things. And thank you very much again. Bye-bye.